cake is a sky-high showstopper made of layers and layers of crepes and rich and creamy filling. It takes the term layered cake to a whole nother level. Baker Khara Westergard is here to teach us how to make a layered crepe cake. Is it as delicious as it sounds?
Oh, it is so good. It's so worth making. It takes time. It's pretty easy. It's just time.
Okay, it's just time, people. We've got plenty of it. Okay, so if we're looking at this cake, give me an idea over here. How many layers is in this cake?
So that one's pretty tall, and you don't have to go this tall, but I just love to. So this one is 30 crepes tall.
Okay, well, I thought 30 feels fine. I feel like 30 is okay.
Yeah.
Maybe if we have a couple different pans flipping.
Yeah, so I have, when I make them, I make it with this little thing you can get on Amazon, and it's just you dip it into its tray, and then it's just a nice way to get a thin,
so you don't have to use like the twirly stick thing to like make it. Oh.
Yeah, so it's just an even thing. You can get this twirly sticks, and those make bigger ones.
Yeah.
But for a small cake like this, I would get the Amazon dipper. But you can also just do it in a small, the same size, like little pan, and just swirl it around your pan.
Okay.
However, so the recipe that I'm bringing you today is kind of exciting for me because I make both regular and gluten-free recipes.
Yes.
And gluten-free crepe cakes have been disappointing because you make them with the rice flour blends, and rice flour gets hard when it's cold, and you have to chill a crepe cake.
That's true. You do have to chill that crepe base recipe before you do the dipping and the cooking.
So I've been working for quite a while.
She has been doing her due diligence, people. She is here to tell us.
So I came up with a recipe that is going to be good for regular and gluten-free people. Really, nobody's going to be able to tell that it's gluten-free because it doesn't have the rice flour anymore.
A sister
and it's
to
not
the
gritty.
people. Yes.
So,
great. Tell us how we do it.
So I just wanted to point out some real quick. You're going to get this millet flour.
Millet, okay.
Millet flour and tapioca flour, and you can get these online on Amazon, or you can go to Whole Foods. It's the only place locally that I've been able to find it is Whole Foods. So in a nutshell, though, it is just the same, just as easy. You just dump it all into your blender, blend it up, and you're ready to use the recipe. So.
Ready to use the recipe. So you're actually going to show us how to fill and stack, though, too.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's start over here.
Is there a method to this madness?
There is. So
is my crepe cake going to fall over?
That's a really good question.
Okay.
Okay.
I need to know.
I actually did this in 3 different installations, really.
Okay.
So yeah, 3 different stacks, and I chilled them all to set. So you just leave it in the fridge. I do it overnight, but I'm sure you could do it less, just like maybe 2 hours or so. You can check it after 1 and see how it's going. But we are going to do a strawberry cream today, and I really hate strawberry emulsions and like the fake strawberry
stuff.
Yes. So we're doing it today with this homemade strawberry sauce, which is so good. If you are out of time, and this already takes you a lot of time, and you want to go a quicker route, I have shared before with Studio 5 a quicker way to make strawberry and other flavors out of preserves. So you can go back to my July segment, just search my name on studio5.com, and anyways, you can do it a little bit. Yes. This is always like the best, best way to go. But that's going to be pretty good too.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start by. We get the little knife back over here.
Yeah, let me do that. Let me get the little knife.
Use the spoon for a second. But we're going to put just a little bit down with our cream just to make sure that we have something for
Are you talking about
it
this
to
knife?
stick to. Yes, that's the one. And as these crepes come off of that little griddle, you see the burnt side. It's not burnt, but
the cooked side.
The cooked side.
Yeah.
And so I like to put the lighter side down.
Down.
So we're gonna go, and when I do this at home, I do like to use like a cookie scoop, a huge.
This is a massive cookie
That one's
scoop.
pretty big.
This is my kind of cookie, Khara.
Yes.
I'm coming to Khara's house for cookies. That's what's happening.
And that just helps you make sure that you get the same amount between each layer.
That makes sense.
And you don't have to have a turntable. It does help, but
Show us, give us the beauty.
So you're just gonna go and just make sure it's like an even layer all the way around, okay? And when I do this, I do like to try to make sure that the bulk is more at the edges than rather in the middle, because you don't want it to end up like a dome. Eventually, all that's going to start being thicker and thicker in the center. So I like to try to make sure it's a little bit less thick in the center and a little bit more on the edge.
Yes.
Because it's going to already start to squish when you put more weight on top. But
Okay.
So we're gonna do that, and then let's go ahead and add another one. Now,
So we're doing different layers between, different fillings between each layer.
so you can get creative as you want. You could do chocolate on the next one. You could do
I mean,
it's strawberries
if I
and
have
chocolate.
to.
I know. But for this one, I was just doing just the cream, and then some cream and some fresh sliced strawberries.
Okay.
So here, maybe just a tiny bit less on this one.
Because you're gonna do the strawberries.
Because I'm adding the strawberries. Yep.
Okay.
So you still just
Layer
spread it
those
out,
on.
and then when you get the strawberries on, you want to make sure that the strawberries press down into the cream to be, the same thickness. So when you do slice your strawberries, slice them. I say just thicker than paper thin, which it's really hard to make them very thin. So if that's just what's in your head, then you're gonna make sure you're not going too thick, and it's gonna be fine.
It's gonna be fine.
Yes.
It's gonna taste like a crepe cake, people. Even if it's got thicker strawberries, or if, in my case, I'm sure it's gonna be falling over. It's gonna be delicious.
And if you feel like you're having a hard time with making them very thin, then you could always, layer a little bit more cream in there. You don't want to get too generous with the cream, because then it gives
Fall
you
over.
Yes, it could give you more.
But then really we're just
So you could go
repeating
like
this
that and
process as
kinda
we
spread
go
some
up.
more over top if you need to. I don't normally spread more over top, but I was kind of trying to show you what you do if
That's
it
great.
gets thick.
That's totally
with
fine.
your strawberries.
I
So
love
then
it.
we'll just go ahead, and so I love this recipe too because they peel apart so nicely. Did you see how nicely they just come right off the stack?
And you can do this in mini form. I
then I
love the
press it
mini
down.
form.
Yes, thank you. So yes, just keep alternating however you want. And you honestly could do this recipe. This is a cream cheese stabilized whipped cream, and
Okay.
then we just mixed it with the
Yep.
preserves. And you could do a raspberry sauce instead, or
The flavors
or the
are
chocolate.
endless.
Yes, so over here we do have the mini, and I thought that was really fun for Valentine's.
So
if you want to have a quiet
cute.
night with your significant other and you just want to get maybe 2 of
Cute.
these. And so all I did for that was there's this little cookie cutter.
Okay, you just used a
Cookie cutter, yep, and you can actually fit like 4 of these on one crepe.
So you'd get a lot more layers quicker if
Yep.
that's something you're looking for. Khara, these are such great ideas. I love a crepe cake. I love this idea. Tell us where we can find more from you.
So just come to Instagram to find me, and I'm at Balsamic Baker, and I love to share my recipes there. So
Such a fun follow. Thanks, Khara.
thanks.